Hi everyone, and welcome back to Beautiful British English. In today's lesson we're going to take a look at how to use the word I, as in I, okay? We're also going to look at some differences between I and me, and I'm going to ask you, do you know the difference between I and I? Welcome back. Let's start with some fun. Let's start with I, and I. So these are three words that you might be completely familiar with. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with at least two of these words. The first one, I, is the pronoun as in I am. Yeah? So that's the first one. The second one is the noun I, and that is for these things in your face, the things that you see with. Yeah? So I'm sure you know that one. But what about this one? I. Does anyone know what that word is? I'll tell you at the end of this video what that word means. But you will notice one interesting thing is, all three words sound exactly the same. I, and I. Don't ask me why. That's just one of the quirks of English. So now, let's start with looking at the word I, which is a subject pronoun. Now, I'm sure all of you guys know that the subject, I, is when you are talking about yourself. I am an English teacher, as you can see in this sentence here. I teach English on YouTube. Okay? Now, when you are using the word I, as in the subject pronoun I, you always have to use it as a capital or uppercase letter. Okay, so it's always I am. Even when you're contracting, it still remains as an uppercase letter, I'm and I'll. These three are correct. These three are wrong. And if you write I, the subject pronoun I, like that in any of your exams, you are going to lose marks. So it's always a capital or uppercase letter. That's the first mistake that lots of you guys currently make. The second thing, the second area we're going to explore today is the differences between I and me. I and me. Now, I and me are both referring to the same thing, but the first word, I, is a subject pronoun. The second word, me, is an object pronoun. So they are very different, and we use them differently. As you can see in these sentences, I teach English on YouTube. I. Subject. I am the subject of that sentence. So I have an I, which is the pronoun, and it's in capital. I teach English on YouTube. Let's take a look at the second sentence. Peter bought me a cup of coffee. The subject of that sentence is Peter. The object of that sentence is me. Okay? Peter bought me a cup of coffee. So that's the difference. I is always the subject. Me is when you require to identify yourself as an object of a sentence, not a subject of a sentence. Yeah? So a lot of you guys do mistake I and me. So try not to. Okay? Now, when you're writing, try not to repeat I in a sentence. It's not very natural, and again, in an exam, you are going to lose marks. So, for example, I am strong and I am intelligent. Technically, nothing wrong with it, if I'm honest with you, but it doesn't sound natural and it doesn't sound fluent. I am strong and intelligent is much better and much more natural. Okay, so I am strong and I am intelligent. No, never repeat the I. I am strong and intelligent. Much better. Finally, I agree or I am agree. So when we're agreeing with something, okay, we need to express our agreement. So I agree, or I am agree, or even in a negative sentence. So my question for you guys, and I'm not going to tell you the answer to this question just yet, is which of these sentences is correct? Is it I agree, or is it I am agree? Leave a comment below the video to tell me which of these is correct. Now, back to this word here, I. This word I is an old-fashioned way of saying yes. It's actually an old-fashioned way of saying you agree with something. So it's very similar to yes, not exactly the same as yes, but it's demonstrating agreement. So it's almost like saying yes to something. Yep. So whenever you hear it, it basically means yes. So we have I, and I. All sound exactly the same, but they're all three different words.